Welcome to the Weekly Braaappp, a place to go for information on local and national off-road racing. We have some exciting stuff planned for this year, including guest interviews, season previews for OMRA cross country and GP racing, the Team Taurus Mega Crown Series, and some insight on the GNCC, WORCS, Enduro Cross, and the National Enduro Racing Series. Stay tuned to either Reid or Don's Facebook for more information and what we'll be talking about each week.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Weekly Braaappp, episode 5. Cinco. That's 10. Cinco. So,
who is this guy?
Almost college graduate. Can't count to 5. What's that? 6? 6? Anyways, so we got a cool show for you today. This was the first weekend of like serious off-road racing of the year. We had hardcore. We had the AMA National Hare Hound Series started up. We had the AMA East Coast Hare Scramble Series started up. It's all good. I don't know why you look like you're about to laugh at something in the background.
I don't know either. I'm excited.
It's a good show. Lots of good stuff going on. So, I know we talked about Hare and Hounds a couple weeks ago, but they're going now. So,
yeah.
What happened to the first race, man?
First race, Kirk Caselli. Let's see. Let's pop up some results here real quick. We got Kirk Caselli in first. Got Mr. Pearson in second.
David Pearson in second. Like we said, that kid, he's good everywhere. Like no matter what he's on or where he goes.
KX 450 this year.
Yep. And then David Como in third.
Yeah.
Destry Abbott in fourth, which that's kind of a weird deal with him because he was running really good and he ended up having brake issues. And it was weird. It's like the brake gremlins were out. We'll talk a little bit more about what happened with people's brakes later, but he had a solid ride going in second place. Yeah, and he ended up fading to fourth because of the brakes.
Good guy, fly guy, bowler. But David Camo,
yep,
third place overall. That's like the first podium in 2 years, I think. I don't think he got on last year, did he?
I don't know. I'm not certain.
Since KTM.
Since KTM's, yep. And yeah, he had kind of a rough year last year because he did the Husky thing for a while, and then he was back. Finished year on Honda and had a really good year down in Baja. Yeah. But yeah, he's back.
I'm really excited for him to be on the podium.
Yep, back with JCR, and much love to our Fly sponsor, which I don't know if we really got a chance to mention it. Fly Racing, the first sponsor of the Weekly Braaappp, stepped up big time for us, and they're awesome. Working with Dale, so it's been amazing.
Pretty much.
So, back on track. One, I thought really cool thing about this weekend's Hare and Hound, we got 2 Northwest guys that went down there, and one of them did really well. Yeah. Ricky Russell, 7th overall in his first Hare and Hound.
Washington boy. I don't think he's ever been to a Hare and Hound before.
Nope.
He looked like he got a good start and just pulled, kept going, stayed pretty consistent.
Yeah, I think in Washington they have the Desert 100, which is a huge race, like 1,200 people, so that's close. So he's got the experience with the bomb run, but when you get down there, you're surrounded by pros. Everyone knows what they're doing. First, like lining up next to the fastest dudes on the planet through the desert, that's got to be nerve-wracking. He's got ice in his veins.
Then Joe Harriman got a top 20 start. I guess he was moving up through the field, like possibly 15th place or something like that. And this KX 450 threw a big old rock in his face and broke his nose and goggles and everything.
And then he went into a ravine and crashed out. But he finished 42nd.
But he said he was taking so much blood in that his stomach started hurting and getting sick.
I texted him like after the race was done. I was like, "How'd it go?" He says, "Broke my nose and my goggles, faded to 42nd." Oh, rough.
JH1. Hey, I was looking through the results here, and last year I raced the 30 Pro class. I don't know what the heck they call it, but it's the premier old dudes. This David Fry guy. I mean, I know he's been around for a while, but look at he's top 16th overall.
16th overall.
I mean, that's incredible.
It's funny because people in Oregon, they're like, "Oh, I'm getting old, so I'm gonna slow down." Like, "Oh, even if I can ride faster, I'm gonna slow down because I'm getting old. I don't bounce off the ground like I used to." Guys like this putting you to shame.
Him and Dan Caparelli. I mean, those guys go back and forth like crazy.
And who was the other guy in there that we were wondering about?
Mr.
And Morgan Crawford. I didn't know. I thought he was just a pro. But he's a vet A guy now too.
23rd overall.
Definitely. So, moving from the fast desert guys, we go back east in the same place to actually hold the Sumter Enduro. They had the opening round of the National Hare Scramble Series, East Coast Series this weekend. Charlie Mullins picking up right where he left off last year, like first place.
I want to know what bike he rides.
He's got, I think, the Dungey motor.
The Grungy?
The Grungy. What's the Grungy?
I don't know. Some dude on KTM.
So Ryan Dungey,
Out on the podium.
a lot of people probably heard he's got that like 2012 and a half 450 single cam fuel injection linkage. Well, that's what Mullins is riding too, and tested for the GNCC series and the National Enduros. He rides this thing.
I heard a rumor today, going back to the Hare Hounds real quick, sorry, but Kirk Caselli's still riding twin cam motor.
The old school one,
Yeah,
and he's still
last year.
and he's still killing it.
Guess so.
Kirk Caselli's the man.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
All right, we digress. Anyways, so big words over here. That college kicking in again. So second place, Jordan Ashburn. He's a new addition to the Ampro Yamaha team. He's riding a YZ250, which is really cool to see. Two-stroke up there battling again. Yep, doing good. I
smell that premix.
Yeah. I don't know quite what the gap was, but I don't think Mullins really straight up dominated the race. That's cool for Jordan Ashburn and those guys. Third place, Stu Baylor, the XC2 champion from the GNCC series last year.
Back to KTM.
Yep, back on KTM 250, which is totally great. Another fly racing guy. Fourth place, we had Brad Bakken, which it sounds like he probably would have gotten third, but brake issues.
Yeah, faded at the beginning of the race and started moving through the pack after he got it all fixed.
Yeah, he had to stop. He like wore through his pads in the sand out there.
It's pretty crazy.
So went back to 12th, then caught all the way through the pack, back up to 5th.
Which?
Yeah, he was following his team manager, Jason Rains, and I guess...
you know you don't want to lose to your team manager.
Yep, so we'll actually get a chance to interview Brad in a little bit. We'll make sure we ask him about that. So he had to make sure he got around his team manager, I guess, so didn't have to get a bunch of grief when they got back to the race shop. So that's pretty cool. I saw some video of it, actually. Some of the guys, I think the Digital Off-Road guys put together a video.
Really?
Yeah, no, it was really well put together, and it looked like an awesome race. It looked pretty flat.
What was the weather like?
I guess it had like poured down rain, but because it was so
during the race, or
no, like the day before it poured like all afternoon when they were doing Jason's Yamaha demo thing.
Oh yeah.
It poured down rain. They were worried it was gonna be muddy. The first lap was a little slick, but then it got blown out, like blown off.
I think I saw pictures of it.
Yep, and it was like that perfect dirt scenario. It was wet sand, and I got a chance to talk to Jason on the phone, and he said that it was one of those deals where you go in a rut and you could see where your tire knobs were leaving indents because you weren't roosting big and it wasn't sloppy muddy, so it was just falling right back into place.
Wow.
So that's pretty awesome. Definitely a good time.
That's sweet.
So we got a special guest coming up later in the show. We're gonna have Ian Blythe on. So we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk to the man who's doing some World Enduros recently. Welcome back to the Weekly Braaappp, everybody. We have a real cool guy guest on the show, I guess you'd say. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ian Blythe. I'm from Colorado. I race dirt bikes.
Right on. That's a good start. So, what kind of cool stuff did you do this last year? I know you have kind of a unique story that a lot of people don't get to experience.
Well, I lived in Europe for 8 months, from February to October of 2011, and yeah, a lot happened. I learned a lot, and I rode a lot of dirt bikes, and it's kind of it was an awesome experience, and yeah, it was cool. I'm glad I did it. It was frustrating throughout the year, but yeah, it was sick. I really want to go back and do it again next year. Nice.
So how did you get all set up with that? Because you went to the 6 days in Mexico, right? And you did really well down there.
Yeah. Well, World Championship's always been kind of a goal of mine. I went and watched the rounds they had in New York and Canada a couple of years ago, and it was just such a cool type of racing. And we always watched like the videos and looked at the Off-Road Champions books. And yeah, 6 days was a goal, and I went and did really well down there in Mexico. And I was kind of like hoping for an opportunity to go over there, and Eric and Nijkamp with Off-Road Champions kind of found a spot for me, and I was able to go over there and ride for the Honda team, the HM Honda Zanardo Jolly Racing team.
Hey Ian, how was that Honda? How'd you like it?
I'm pretty pumped to be back on my KTMs, honestly.
It was different.
But yeah. I mean, there's no excuses. I mean, you can go fast on a Honda or anything. And obviously, the team I was on, had 2 world champions the year that I was racing. But I mean, I don't know. My Zen was apparently not aligned with the Honda.
Yeah, I think we can all understand that. I mean, you come off something you've ridden for so long, and then you get on a whole different machine. That's got to be a change, no matter how good you are. I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, I made kind of some bad decisions because I mean, my results at 6 days in Mexico were the best results I've ever had racing, and immediately after that, I changed everything in my racing. I changed where I was living, how I was training, the bike I was riding, my mechanics and tuners, whatever. Everything was different. There wasn't anything that I could go off of, which was bad planning on my part. But it didn't lead to very good results over there.
So you finished last year off with the Ducati Hare Scramble. How'd you do there? And how'd you like it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I got back from Europe and I went to the WORCS race in Phoenix, the last WORCS race, and did well in Pro 2. And then, I was on my way home from there, and I decided I wanted to race in Ducati. It's kind of a race I've always wanted to do, and I looked at it and planned it out. And yeah, I went down there with my friend Ryan Moser and my dad, which was cool because it was like the first race since 6 days that I had gone to with my dad, and it was in Mexico too. So, we went down there and got there a little early and walked some of the sections and stuff like that. And it was tough. It was a lot tougher than I expected. It snowed during the middle of the race, but I got a good start and moved into the lead, like right there on the first lap, and kind of shut it down. I had arm pump and I was trying not to make any mistakes. And Taylor Robert got by me, and I wasn't able to really keep up with him for very long. And then right at the end of the lap, Bobby Garrison and Ivan Ramirez got by me. And then after that, I kind of clicked and started riding really well and caught back up to Garrison and Ivan. Then I crashed pretty hard, but I got up, and then me and Ivan kind of battled to the finish, and I was able to come out ahead of him. So it was an awesome race, and it was really fun. I didn't really go down there with any expectations. It's been a race that I wanted to go to, and it was fun. I'm glad I went.
The dirt looked perfect out there.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome. It was a really different type of race. The WORCS races are real open, and it's pretty predictable what it's going to be like. But yeah, it was tight and technical, and yeah, primo dirt. It was sick.
Cool, nice. So I thought I maybe read you mentioned something about trying to get back over to Europe, maybe do your own type of thing for the year, or.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to go there. I mean, there's really nothing like World Championship right now as far as enduro racing. I really like the endurance plus the sprint factor of the racing. And, there's a lot of kids over there that aren't a whole lot faster than me that are racing professionally. And it's a pretty mainstream sport. So it's really fun and kind of attractive to me. So I want to go over there and, ride my own bikes, and do it and see how I can do.
What if you were to go back there, what bike do you think you'd end up riding?
Well, I'm still deciding between riding a 250 KTM, 250F, or a 350. I really like going from like a big bike, like practicing on like a 350 or whatever, and then racing on a 250 is kind of good for me. But we'll see. I'll probably end up on a 250F KTM.
On. And then, are you still eligible for the junior class?
Yeah. The junior class over there is until you're 23. So I've actually got 3 years left in the junior class, which is why I really want to be the first American junior world champion.
Heck yeah! I didn't know you were only 20. That's awesome. Well, are you 21 now, or are you 20?
I'm still 20. I turned 21 real soon, though, in January.
Okay, because isn't it like, can you go into your 24th year as long as you're 23 at the start of the year?
It's actually 23 and under, so you can't be 24 in there. But this year, I mean, on January 1st, I was 20. Next year, I'll be 21. Then the year after, I'll be 22.
Gotcha.
And, yeah.
Nice.
After that, I'll be done.
Well, that's really awesome. everyone here is rooting for you. I don't know. I've always been a fan of enduro racing. Well, ISE style racing at least, and I'm not so good at the timekeepers, but that's really awesome. I think you're probably living a dream.
Yeah, absolutely, and I really want to make it happen. So
for sure. Well, thank you very much for coming on and talking to us. It was great.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot, bud.
All right, welcome back to the show. That was a pretty cool interview with Ian Blythe.
Ian's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I really hope that he does well over in Europe. If he can get back over there on the KTM, show those Euro guys what we can do when he's on a bike that he likes.
As well as the WORCS series. I know he did pretty good the first round, and I know he's getting a lot more support from the Clockworks KTM guys. So
yeah, for sure. So he'll have some good product on his bike, and it'll be a hell of a good year.
Yeah,
for sure of it. So that about brings us. We need to announce the winners of the gloves from last week. So
Robbie Nielsen?
Yep, Robbie Nielsen and John Beaver were the lucky winners. Well, not lucky, they knew what they were talking about.
One guy from Oregon, one guy from Nevada, so that's pretty cool.
Yep, now we just got to send, I know it's more shipping, but we got to get someone from the East Coast to win something.
Yeah.
So get on the show and then answer the question we'll have another trivia question next week to win some more cool fly stuff. So
we try to do it every Saturday at 6
p.m. Yep.
West Coast time. So
yeah, should be good. So with that, we got to thank Fly Racing. It's been great having them as a partner on the show.
Dale is amazing at Fly. I really do appreciate it, Dale.
Yep, thanks a lot, Dale. Follow him on Twitter at Spanky162. Yeah, we're always talking about Dale because he's the godfather. He's got it on there. So with that, we got lots of open wall space. Sponsors, if you'd like to get involved with us, we've got a lot of cool ideas.
Yeah. We got some commercials we wouldn't mind doing, product reviews, anything like that with your company. Get involved with the Weekly Braaappp, youth programs, anything like that. Reed, everybody at the Weekly Braaappp, we have some great creative ideas. How we can involve everything, keep everything going and flowing.
Yeah, for sure. We got a really cool editor that can pretty much do anything we want with the video, so we can throw a commercial in during our show at a break.
Yeah.
As you notice, basically what we've got going on now is Fly Racing, like all over our show, and we got room for a whole lot more. So if you're interested in becoming a partner of the show, on Twitter at KTM Kid Brown,
DM3,
at DM3 Racing, or on Facebook, we're both on there quite often. So. Our email address is ktmkidbrown@gmail.com.
DM3racing@gmail.com.
Yep, and we can definitely, we got lots of space. Again, we got lots of space on the walls. So
yeah.
So let us know. And with that, I guess that'll do it for this week's episode of the Weekly Braaappp.
One quick thing. Next week we got an in-house interview. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna say who it is yet, but it's pretty cool.
Yep, we got to have our first in-studio guest. It's gonna be pretty fancy. I don't know. I've never done a real face-to-face interview before, so make sure you watch to make sure.
Okay. I'm not nervous.
He's not nervous. I might be a little nervous. So, all right. Take it easy. See you next week.